Motivation is an important aspect of learning for all students, whether they are struggling, competent, or high achieving. Throughout all of our inquiries, we looked at how we can create and sustain motivation for all students in our classroom, regardless of subject.
Our group looked at 4 facets of motivation, including classroom culture, collaboration, student choice, and conferencing.
Class culture.
Problem solving in mathematics is used to engage students' knowledge and strategies, utilising key competencies such as thinking and collaboration to raise achievement levels, empower students by raising self-efficacy, dispelling myths and negative attitudes towards mathematics, which directly relates to students' motivation. Through administering a series of problem-solving lessons, I found that in order for students to collaborate in such lessons, a safe classroom culture must be well established before launching into such collaborative learning.
Collaboration.
In looking at how I could provide meaningful support to highly motivated maths learners, I learned that taking those children who are accustomed to instant maths success and giving them more challenging problems in a small collaborative setting with other motivated maths learners provided them a supported environment which increased their perceived abilities and motivated them to attempt more difficult maths problems. STORE supports this and says that collaboration helps to develop communication, justify strategies and allows learners to make mathematical connections. Through use of formative assessment and summative gloss testing, students made advances in knowledge and confidence to tackle more difficult problems.
Student choice.
I looked to theories of motivation and decided to structure my intervention around student choice as it promotes autonomy, intrinsic motivation, accountability, agency over learning decisions, and increased self-efficacy. In my inquiry, the children selected appropriate workshops based on their personal learning needs. They were motivated by the element of choice and the agency that they had with tailoring learning to their individual requirements. I used a pre-test and a post-test to assess the learning of my students. I also used a Likert scale which conveyed the notion that children not only achieved academic success through utilising student choice, but also that they enjoyed the process. Upon reflection, I found that there is a strong correlation between enjoyment, student choice, and achievement.
One-on-one conferencing.
I was interested in seeing how I could foster intrinsic motivation and develop skills for students characterised as unmotivated and struggling in writing. My intervention provided students with one-on-one conferencing and feed-forward after they had completed a writing task. My inquiry outcomes mirrored Quentin and Smallbone's study that found by actively involving students in the feedback they received, they gained a better understanding of feedback, a clearer idea of future focuses, as well as an opportunity to experience success. Students also had the chance to receive specific and relevant verbal praise about their writing. Overall, I learned that conferencing with students about their work increased their enjoyment, self-efficacy, and importantly, motivation to engage in consequent writing tasks.
Conferencing. Student choice.
I provided my students with a range of writing options in terms of genre and style, offering them an opportunity to write in a way that suited their abilities and piqued their individual interest. This flexibility allowed students to write from a perspective that they felt comfortable with, using their student choice to foster a sense of ownership over their learning. This in turn encouraged them to use their own knowledge and experience to engage in their writing, often with their own experiences used as a counterpoint to those of the characters in their story. The ICT environment of the classroom gave me the ability to track the students' work and provide formative assessment as they were working. Conferencing allowed me to offer encouragement and support as students worked on their writing. In reflection, this often resulted in the students using me as a validation of their choices.
So what did we learn as teachers undertaking an inquiry into motivation? We already knew that getting students motivated was an important aspect of teaching, and collectively we found a variety of successful ways to motivate a diverse range of students.
We learned it is vital that we know our learners and understand their strengths and needs in order to provide them with an appropriate method of motivation. We also learned that in the future we need to be reflective in our teaching to monitor the effectiveness of the strategies and how it encourages student progress.
In all, we each valued the opportunity to continually improve our practice through the Teaching as Inquiry model and have benefited from collaboratively exploring student motivation from multiple angles.
Created using Powtoon.